Uh, what's up, YouTube? Motronic18. Coming at you guys today. Deck profile. I've been playing this deck for at least about a week and a half, maybe almost 2 weeks now. It's Orcust. Orchids are pretty much a World Legacy archetype that's instrumental based. Also, the archetype itself is all dark machines. So pretty much every one of the clauses, if you banish them to summon monsters from wherever their effect says. It restricts you summon to dark. You're going to summon dark monsters for the rest of that turn. So I'm gonna pretty much do a deck profile on it, and also on the cards that I'm playing in the deck, and also I'm gonna show you pretty much essentially a one card combo that can pretty much just summon a topological setup for our next play next turn, where you could pretty much summon topological and then summon another Orcust monster from your graveyard to either blow up your opponent's main monster zone, or let's say they to set up the monster for the extra monster zone to get rid of it. Alright, without further ado, I'm just gonna go into the deck profile right now. Just give me 1 second. And we'll do a little quick zoom up. Alright, that should be pretty fine. I'm sorry for the camera quality. It's pretty much my phone, and I will eventually be getting some type of camera to pretty much just make it a lot easier. But yeah, I'm just getting started. First, I'm playing 3 copies of Orcust Harp Horror. What this card does is, if this card's in your graveyard, you can banish it to Orcust monster from your deck to the field. Restriction says you can't special anything for the rest of the turn except for dark monsters. So, it's pretty good startup. I'm also running 3 copies of Orcust Symbol Skeleton. What he does is I can banish him from grave to special summon an Orcust monster from grave. It's a pretty good card. And he actually is part of the opponent turn setup. I'm also running 3 copies of Orcust Brass Bombard. What he does is he banishes himself from grave to essentially special summon a monster from your hand. Only reason I'm maxing out on the Orcust monsters is because there's only 3 in Soul Fusion set where pretty much you go into. That's it for the Orcust monsters. Other monsters I am also running in the main deck. Sorry guys, it's real late. I'm doing this. I probably could have done this a couple days ago, but I pretty much just was tweaking the build today to see how well it did. But I did pretty well. To the way I liked it. Also running 3 copies of Legacy World 1. What this guy does is, well, what it does is if it's sent to graveyard, you can special summon 1 Legacy monster from your hand. You can just card from the graveyard to target 1 Orcust monster that's banished and special summon it. But you can always special monsters but dark. All Orcust monsters have that clause. And this one you use each effect once per turn. So you use both effects in one turn, but you can only use them once. Other World Legacy monster I am running is 3 copies of World Legacy World Crown. Pretty much the monster you summon off of World Wand. And what this card does is you can special summon to his own link monster points to. And also if a monster that was summoned from the extra deck attempt to activate its effect, you can tribute this card and negate its effect and destroy it. And if this card was tributed, tribute summon tributed. So pretty much if you tribute summon and you tribute it off, you can search 1 World Legacy card from your deck to hand. Next, aside from Orcust and World Legacies, I'm running 3 copies of Armageddonite. This guy is pretty much the MVP of the deck. Pretty much in any dark deck now in this format. What he does is if he summoned, summon 1 dark monster from your deck to the graveyard. And it's actually not a once per turn. So pretty much if you summon it more than once, You could dump multiple amount of dark monsters. Like if you bring back a monster reborn, soul charge, succession. Pretty much you just dumping monsters from your deck to graveyard. And the other monster I'm running in the deck also is two copies of Dark Grepher. What Dark Grepher does actually is you can special summon him by discarding a level 7 or higher, level 5 or higher Dark monster, essentially either this or this. To special summon himself, once per turn, what you can send one Dark monster from your hand and one Dark monster from your deck to graveyard. You can either special summon him or just normal summon him, then ditch Dark, dump a Dark. But Dark Grepher is a really good card. Armageddon Knight is also a really good card in the deck because Armageddon Knight does some really crazy one card combos. For hand traps, I'm running is two copies of Ash Blossom and two copies of Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit. We all know why we play these because we want opponent not to search, and also we want to get rid of problematic cards that are static on field that activate. And Ghost Ogre is while it's on hand or field, you can pop the card. Ash Blossom is while it's just in hand. That's it for monsters. On to spells. I'm running two copies of Orchestrated Babble. Reason why I'm running two. Sometimes I want to draw into it, and you can also set it off of the link to Orcust Monster by Shuffling and Banish Machine. The reason why I'm only running two of it, and because you can cycle it out of grave by ditching a card from your hand to grave, except the turn center. So if your opponent pops it on their turn, you can just add it back on your turn. Really good card. It also makes all Orcust Link monsters. My bad. Excuse my tongue. It makes all Orcust Link monsters on field and Orcust monsters in grave card effects. I mean, by not card effects, quick effects. Sorry, you're a little tired. Twisted words. It makes all of them quick effects. So pretty much every Orcust monster that you have on field or in grave, pretty much just activate them during your opponent's turn, which is pretty much really good, especially when you have Topologic on field. The other Orcust cards I'm running are two copies of Orchestrated Return. What this card does is you can send one Orcust monster or World Legacy monster from your hand or field to graveyard and draw two cards. You go and activate this card once per turn. So pretty much you just ditch an Orcust or World Legacy. Let's say you want to ditch a harp or a skeleton, or mainly harp you want to discard. You discard harp or you discard World Wand from your hand, draw two. And if you have a World Legacy monster on field while World Wand sent to graveyard, World Legacy monster in hand, excuse my tongue, and World Wand sent to graveyard, you can summon a World Legacy monster from your hand, mainly the crown. And you can also summon World Wand itself. Really fun, really decent card. I'm also running two copies of Orchestrated Ensaz. What this card does is if my opponent normal or special summons a monster to the field, whether it's their field or my field, I can send one Orcust monster or Will Legacy monster from my deck to grave, or banish it from my deck. Usually you want to dump your Orcust monsters, like your harps and your skeletons, to activate the effects or summon them from either deck or grave. But you want to use the effect once per turn. Outside of the Orcust spell cards, I am running three copies of Allure of Darkness. You definitely want to max out on this because your deck's an all dark deck. You draw two monsters and banish a dark monster from your hand. Let's say if your opponent has an Imperial Iron Wand field or something that prevents you from banishing, I could just reveal a dark monster and don't have to discard my hand as long as I have a dark. But normally you would draw two and banish any dark monster, but it doesn't really affect your deck too much because the link monsters just pretty much just shuffling your banish machines. It's really good. Actually, Olor is really good in the deck. Also running three copies of Royal Legacy Survivor. What this card does is I can activate top 5 cards of my deck, and if there's a Royal Legacy among those 5 cards, I can add one of them to my hand and then send the rest to grave. Or if there was no Royal Legacy cards on activation, just shuffle pretty much the activated 5 back into your deck. but the restriction is you can only summon monsters. You can only summon link monsters that turn, which is pretty much all you do in the deck. So pretty much any monster that comes out, the extra has to be a link, which is like I want to say 99% of my deck actually. Really good card. Pretty much is it pretty much gets any orchid. If you draw open on any orchids and you somehow X-fate them and you somehow X-fate a Will Legacy card, you can pretty much just add that Will Legacy card, dump the rest of the cards, especially Orcust monsters, and then activate your Orcust monster effects. Really good card. Also running one copy of Foolish Burial, one copy of Monster Reborn, one copy of Soul Charge, one copy of One for one copy of Well Succession, which is also searchable off of Survivor along with the monsters, and one copy of Reinforcements of the Army because we pretty much search out Armageddon Knight or Dark Refer. Really good card. And that's it for spells, and then traps. I'm running 3 copies of Heavy Storm Duster. Reason why I'm running 3 copies is because the deck doesn't do well against Floodgate decks. So pretty much any card on field that pretty much prevents me from doing certain things, like Necrovalley. Necrovalley says I can't banish anything, so I can't really activate any of my Orcust effects. Things like Imperial Iron Wall, Altergeist itself, and yeah, pretty much anything that prevents me from doing much, I pretty much just run that card for that reason. Eh, who knows? I might actually change this up for something else. I don't know. I think this card's really good. And activate during my opponent's turn, so it doesn't affect my battle phase at all. That's it for the main. I'm gonna go into the extra deck. Running 2 copies of Topologic Vomit Dragon. He's pretty much your go-to Link 4. I'm sorry. Sorry guys, I dropped the card. Sorry, we shook a little bit. Pretty much use the Link 4 you go into, and what he does is if a monster is special to a zone any Link monster points to, I could pretty much destroy and it's mandatory. Destroy all monsters in the main monster zone. But only this card to contact that on your turn to get that effect activated. And if it declares an attack, your opponent takes damage equal to the monster's original attack points. It's really good. It's really good stuff, and pretty much it doesn't really affect your deck. I imagine he's actually really good in Orcust, and he's a dark, so there's no clauses on that. Also running 2 copies of Orcust. What this card does as a link 4 is if it's linked, it can't be destroyed by battle or card effects. And once per turn, you can shuffle in. We're going to use the effects once per turn anyway. You can't, let's say you have 2 on field, you can't use both of them. You're going to use one of them. What this card does is you shuffle in 3 banished machines, any 3 banished machines, to make all linked monsters on your opponent's field attack and defense 0, and effects negated. So pretty much, it's a really good card. It just, especially in battle phase, you can just shuffle in 3 banish if your opponent doesn't have some type of battle trap. You can pretty much shuffle in 3, make every monster in my opponent's field 0, and effects are negated. Running 3 copies of Orcust Longisu, the Orcust Orchestrator. I guess that was a little weird. I don't ever read its name. We just call it Longisu or Longboy. What this card does is if it's linked, it cannot be destroyed by card effects. And you can shuffle in 2 banished machine monsters to non-target send a linked monster from deck to grave. I mean, from my opponent's field to grave. Excuse me, I'm a little out of it a little bit, but I'm trying to get through it. So pretty much if there's any monsters in my opponent's field that's linked, whether it's pretty much me pointed to the zones, if pretty much any link monsters in a zone that any link monster points to, I can send those monsters to the grave, or entirely the link monster, as long as it has a monster in the zone that monster points to. So pretty much, let's say my opponent has sorcerers on field, and I have this guy on field. My opponent has, let's say, against Gokis, they have a, just any Goki monster in one zone of sorceress. I could pretty much just shuffle in two Banish machines, and with the field spell, I'll make some quick effects. I can shuffle in two Banish machines, and pretty much essentially send that sorceress to grave. As long as he's on field, but he can't. But this card specifically, let's say if I have two Longuses on field, the one that uses the effect cannot attack, but the one that couldn't use the effect can attack. So because it's a hard once return, so pretty much says I'm going to use one effect of it. So if I have two on field, the one that uses the effect cannot attack. That's why you essentially just link it away, and then you have no longer anyways. Um, that's pretty much an explanation of linked monsters and why he's really good. Next, I'm also running two copies of Galatea, the orchestrated domination. What this card does is I can shuffle in one Banished Machine monster to set one Orcust card for one Orcust spell and trap card from my deck. Usually, you want to set your field spell to essentially gain quick effects, unless you drew into a field spell. You pretty much want to set your field spell if you don't have it, or if you do have your field spell, set another Orcust spell trap, namely Izaz. Because Izaz pretty much you activate it, and anytime your opponent summons a monster, you double Orcust, and field spell makes your monster quick effects. And also, if this card is linked, it cannot be sharded by battle. And that's why, and it's really fun. Also, that's it for the Orcust extra deck monsters. Other extra deck monsters I'm running is one copy of Summon Sorceress, one copy of Wee Witch Apprentice, one copy of Underclock Taker, and two copies of Masked Hero Darklaw. Why Darklaw in the extra deck is because there's a card called Max Change 2, where you discard any card, target any monster on your field, send your grave. You summon a Masked Hero Fusion with a level higher. It doesn't have to be exactly one level higher, but a level higher than the monster you send. So you send a Bombard or a Skeleton. As long as it has a level, you send a grave, you summon a Dark Lord. It could be a very low level monster, and then essentially Dark Lord. But I don't main Mass Change 2. I side it because Dark Lord is not really. I don't want to summon Dark Lord on on game one. I rather summon on game two where I know my opponent relies on that graveyard. And that's it for extra deck. Onto side deck. Running three copies of Herald the Abyss. Side decks do change eventually. What this card does is you pay 1,500 life points. Declare a monster type and attribute, and if it's on your opponent's field, you can. Pretty much they have to send them to grave, and they can't use the effects of that monster sent to graveyard for the rest of the turn. So pretty much, if you go against Goki, that summon the rank 4, I think number 86 or Gongnyan. And let's say it has a bunch of materials because of Gossip Shadow. What you do is you activate the spell card. You declare type and attribute so it doesn't affect the monster but affects the player itself. Pretty much Rangongmia says I have to get rid of him because he's essentially the only Dark Warrior monster on the field at time. And yeah, that's pretty much the only reason. There may be some couple other reasons you could play against Thunder Dragon's Call, Light Thunder or Dark Thunder. Light Thunder usually being Titan, or Dark Thunder essentially being Colossus. Pretty much, it makes them send it, not destroy it. So pretty much they can't protect it. And but longer so does same exact thing. But we usually go for the Goki Nightmare. Well, not Goki Nightmare. Goki Lock. Next card I'm running is three copies of Twin Twister. Aside from me mainly Henry Stormduster, this card is also another backer Floodgate card. What I do is this card target 2 spell and trap cards on field and destroy them both. Also rated 2 copies of Call by the Grave. Pretty much, if you target a monster in grave, and pretty much its effects are negated. Those monster effects are negated, and while for that till your opponent's next until the next turn. So let's say if you have it in hand and you try to go on with your combo and your opponent says, "Oh, Ash Blossom or Ghost Ogre," change that card, you banish that monster and negate its effects. And they can't use the effect, those type of effects. That monster effect that turn. But you only can use one of it, anyways. Um, Other card I'm running is 2 copies of Max Chains 2. I'm sorry guys, unfortunately I'm proxying the stack 1 right now. I wasn't proxying earlier because I was able to borrow them from somebody, but I was only really able to get one for myself, which I'm actually gonna have to get another one soon. Pretty much what this card does, like I think I explained it before, but I'll explain it again. Um, discard card from your hand. Then target one monster on field with a level. Send to the graveyard, and also after that, if it left the field by this effect, special summon one from the extra one max heal monster with the same attribute but a level higher than the attribute and level of the monster that was on the field and sent at the time. Also, when it was on the field originally, if it was face down, and if it was let's say my pawn flip face down, I still made the target. But pretty much it checks the monster in grave at the time. So and you just summon the dark. But you can only activate it one. You can only activate one copy of a turn. And pretty much the monster trees as a special monster with that. So pretty much you summon Dark Law and pretty much just there. It's just Dark Law. I'm also for trap. Rest of the side, I'm wearing 3 copies of Gozen Match. Reason why. Pretty much since essentially your whole deck is dark, you can it pretty much is, and you go against a deck with multiple attributes like Goki or Ultra Guys, or it's even Thunder Dragons. Um, it restricts them to the one attribute. So let's say if you're playing against Goki Nightmares, they summon 2 monsters. They summon an Isold. They do their searches. Um, you flip Gozen Match. They can't summon any monsters with, let's say, since I sold the light monster, they can't summon any monsters of a different attribute but light. But since Goki's are essentially all earths, most of the extra gets different attribute also. But it doesn't, since it doesn't really affect my deck, but affects their deck, it pretty much just slows them down. And also slows down Alta guys because they can only have one monster on field at a time, unless they're able to get rid of this card. It's pretty good, the card. Also running 2 copies of Dimensional Barrier. Let's Thunder Dragon, Invoked, just anything like Paleozoics, any deck that summons, or even like the Blue Eyes or whatever. Pretty much you call either Fusion, Synchro, Exceeds monster, Fusion, Synchro, Exceeds, or Ritual monster, or Pendulum monster. Oh yeah, my bad. Synchro, Fusion, Exceeds, Pendulum, Ritual. You call any of those 5 card types. Pretty much your opponent can't summon monsters of that card type, or if there are ones on the field already, they cannot use their effects on the field. So if you, let's say they summon a totally awesome, or let's say a Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon, they attempt to activate, you activate Dimensional Barrier. Pretty much, I mean, while they're on field, their effects are negated, and also your opponent can't summon any monsters of that card type. Alright, that's it for the side deck. And now I'm gonna pretty much show you guys the card you need to essentially get that field going. Sorry about that. So pretty much all you really need is Armageddonite. What you do is you summon Armageddon Knight. Actually, let's just do it as a 2-card thing. No, I'll do it as a 1 and I'll do it 2 afterwards. The 1 card is Armageddon Knight. Activate Armageddon Knight. You dump your harp. You banish your harp. Actually, maybe 2 cards. You summon a skeleton. So you have that. Link 2. Yeah, it might be a 2-card combo. Yeah, because you don't really need 1 more monster than normal. Summon Galatea. Activate Galatea effect, shuffle back in. Set and activate your field spell. Yeah. Actually, guys, I realize I kind of messed it up a little bit. We're going to do it as a 2-card combo, because obviously 1 card doesn't always do it. Because you definitely want to try to bring out Toppo. So we're going to do Armageddon Knight. I'm so dumb. It is a 2-card combo. Sorry, like I said, I'm a little tired, but it's all good. It's essentially a 2-card combo. Uninterrupted, it could essentially bring out Toppo. What you do is you summon Armageddon Knight, activate his effect. You dump a Brass Bombard. What you do afterwards, you banish Brass Bombard, special summon Harp. Unfortunately, yeah, there's a 2-card combo. It would be 1 to probably just summon a long gear so and probably set up. But, oh yeah, my bad, essentially. Give me 1 second. You link to, you summon Galatea. You activate Galatea effect. You shuffle in your Orcust. Set and activate your field spell. Banish Harp. Summon a skeleton from your deck. Skeleton. Link what's up here. There. So banish harp, summon skeleton. I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. Oopsies, I'm not even showing you it. Yeah. My bad. Give me 1 second. I just realized camera's a little out of context. 1 second. Alright, so what I did so far is your Armageddon Knight, dump your brass, banish brass, you summon the harp from your hand. You link with the Armageddon Knight and the harp, right here is grave. You summon this. Her effect shuffles in this. You set and activate this field spell. I'm sorry. You banish this from the grave. Summon your skeleton. You link away these 2. You can either summon Long Gearsu or summon Sorceress. I'm going to show you pretty much, essentially, you can probably get more out of it. You could do it with Long Gearsu, and you can also do it with Sorceress. In a second. Yep. I'm going to do it with Sorceress. Let's do Sorceress. Summon Sorceress. 1 second. What you do now is you banish skeleton, summon Galatea, where Sorceress points to. Now you trigger off Sorceress effect, target Galatea, and special summon from your deck another skeleton. Because this is a card guy we're going to use for our opponent's turn. Summon skeleton. Now we're gonna link this and skeleton engrave. Summon long Kirsu. It doesn't matter which sub. And then right after we summon long Kirsu, we're gonna link sorcerers and long Kirsu. We're gonna summon topological bomber dragon. The topological bomber dragon is gonna be in your right monster zone, and I'll explain why it has to be on your right. You end up on top of whatever cards in your hand is what you have in your hand. Since we have a bones in our graveyard, our opponent draws, they go into standby, they go into main phase. If they don't have a call by grave, you'll be fine. So the moment they summon a monster, any monster, to the main monster, you'll banish your symbols, turning Longiesa and Grave. Longiesa will be in the middle monster zone. Topological will be a mandatory effect. So he will destroy pretty much both all monsters and main monster. Longiesa says since he is linked to a monster, since Topological is pointing to a Longiesa, Longiesa is technically linked to Topo. Longiesa can't be shot with card effects, but it destroys everything else in your opponent's monster zone. The moment they summon a monster here to this extra monster zone, and if they summon one there, what you do is you trigger off Longiasa's effect, shuffle into Orcust monsters. So let's say there's either these two or these two, doesn't really matter. Shuffle any two banished machine, and you pretty much send the monster that's in that extra monster zone to graveyard. Let's say they summon a Titan or a Colossus or Sorcerers or Ice Souls. Pretty much Longus is it's a non-target send to grave effect as long as there's a monster in the zone any link monster points to. That's considered being linked. So you can pretty much just send to the graveyard. And yeah, like I said, I'm a little tired. I'm not too tired, but I am kind of tired. I've been out all day trying, just having fun, doing what I like to do. That was pretty much the deck profile. 1 second. And like I said, this is real fun, and it also has a really good setup. And it's pretty much you could do it like 80% of the time unless you brick. But the chances of bricking are very like about a 10% chance of bricking. Maybe a second. Yeah, like the deck is like I want to say maybe like it can match up with Thunder Dragons. It can pretty much match up with most like meta decks. It can't really do much against like anti-meta decks or just decks that run heavy floodgates. Like the deck does tend to lose to floodgate based decks. But it's all good because that's why we have side for these type of floodgates. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm sorry about if I'm a little prolonging that. Like I said, out all day. Um, a little like, well, not wasted, but like more of, I don't know how to say it. Um, I'm also gonna be doing since I do PlayStation Network streaming. I'm gonna be doing some Soul Calibur 6 gameplay tonight. I'm gonna pretty much do some online battles, see how I do. And if you guys are interested, you can pretty much like, comment, subscribe, and also I believe there is a notification bell somewhere along the video. Click that bell. Pretty much, you'll get any. If you subscribe to my channel, you'll get any like pretty much any uploads, any streams, any live video, any live feed. Um. Yeah, that's it. Morphtronic 18 signing out. Like I said, I'm gonna be doing Soul Calibur 6 tonight. I'm doing probably a few matches. Maybe not more than a few. I'll just do it just to show you guys what Soul Calibur 6 is like, if you guys want to get the game or not. And also, I'm also on PlayStation Network, so if you guys have PlayStation, you could pretty much just hit me up on it, and then I have no problems facing people in the game. And I also do fighters. I haven't played fighters in a while, but I do play it sometimes. And I do, and also Devil May Cry 4. I might be doing a Lady Trish story soon. And I also play Blaze Blue Cross Tag. I haven't played that in a while. I gotta warm up before I can actually live stream some videos on that. But like I said, I'm definitely gonna be live streaming Soul Calibur 6 later tonight, or even in the morning, or even like early morning. Yeah, that's it. Alright, guys, like I said, like, comment, subscribe. Click notification bell for notifications on when I upload videos or do live streams. And yeah, you guys have a nice night, or if you guys are up, please watch the stream, or if you can't watch the stream tonight, watch it in the morning. And alright, well, trying 18 signing out. Take it easy, guys, and yeah, have a nice night.